Hey, Mike McGroarty here from Mike'sBackyardNursery.com. Today I want to talk to you about the simplicity of growing plants from nothing. And I'm going to kind of give you a little tour here of what we do, because we got to do right now. Today's like the March 22nd, so we're getting right at the end of hardwood cutting season. And this year we waited mainly because we were busy doing other things and we haven't done any. So really quick here, we're going to dive in and get all these done before April 1st. So we have a number of plants around here that we do from hardwood cuttings. So what I do is I always make sure that I have stock plants around that I can get cuttings from. Some are in pots that we're going to sell, some are just in beds around the nursery or even up around the house. So this is the Golden Curls Willow. This is very easy to do from hardwood cutting. So basically what we do, we just come out here and we collect canes like this. A little curly. I'm going to come off any side branches, and then basically I look for a leaf node. This is a leaf bud. That's where a bud's going to appear. We cut right below that. We don't want to make them real long, so I'm going to cut right. Here's another one. I'm going to cut right above that. So basically that's our cutting. We'll stick it in hormone solution. Dip and grow is what I use, and then we'll stick it in a flat, and I'll show you that up there. So basically we collect these canes, and then we get a bunch of cuttings from each cane, so we can actually get quite a few. So the Golden Curls Willow is one of them that we're going to do. Kathy will go this way. Another one that we do from hardwood cuttings. Now these look dead, right? These are Annabelle Hydrangea. So I'll go down here and get a cutting. If you look down in these plants, you can see that we cut these things to the ground every fall. So as we harvest cutting. So can you see that okay? Mm-hmm. All right. So here's the leaf node. This is all just dead stem. I'm going to cut that off right there. Well, actually, with Annabelle, so normally with a hardwood cutting, I would make it like this. I'd cut below this node and above this node. But with something like Annabelle, you can actually make a single node cutting. So you cut right below that node, stick that in the ground. No, I did that wrong. I'm not used to doing them that way. All right, so you can actually cut with the node above the soil. So let's say that you got a cutting that looks like that. You can stick this in your soil, leave that bud right above the ground, and this is going to die back because there's no buds here. So we want to cut that like that. It's good to leave a little stem, that way you're protecting these buds as you handle the cutting. I usually leave about a 1-inch stem. It'll die back, but it's going to get lost in the plant. So this is a single node cutting, because there's no node at the bottom like we normally do with a lot of things. So Annabelle Hydrangea, we can get, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds from these three plants right here. Plus we have them all over the nursery. This is purple flowering sand cherry. Same thing. I'm going to make that cut there, and then I probably make a cut right here. So I got a node here, and then there's actually 1, 2, 3 nodes here, and then I got a little tiny handle at the top. Now when you leave the handle at the top, that also helps you from mixing up your cuttings. You don't want to stick them upside down. You want them to be right side up. So if you cut them like that, where you're close to the node, not into the node, but close to the node, and then leave that little stem, that's a handle for you to work with. So purple sand cherry, this has purple leaves, pink flowers. People see these that are planted here along the drive and they go crazy and they want to buy them. So, stuff like this is actually really easy to grow and sell. More Annabelles. This is Dappled Willow. This is in the willow family, very easy from a hardwood cutting. It grows shrub form a lot. And this is unruly because I leave it so I can get cuttings off of it. Because I don't like to cut. Things that I'm going to do is hardwood cuttings. I normally don't prune a lot during the growing season. So again, we would do this Dappled Willow the same thing. This is very, very pretty. This has a green leaf with pink and white in it in the spring. They sell like crazy when they have that color on. Again, we make a cutting that's probably going to look about like that. I got a bottom node, a top node, make a nice little cutting. And we'll go up front and I'll show you, the flats that we put them in. Allegheny viburnum, I'm not sure if it would do well as hardwood cutting. The beauty of this is it doesn't cost you anything to try. A lot of things will do well as hardwood cuttings, but some things are just so easy as softwood cuttings that's the way we do them. We don't. There's only a handful of things that we really do as hardwood cuttings because they do better that way. All right, let's go this way. Don't look at my butt when I'm walking away. Kathy, don't let him look at my butt. So these are hardwood cuttings that we stuck. All right, Lucy, Rose of Sharon, the Dappled Willow I just showed you, Annabelle Hydrangea. There's some Aphrodite, Rose of Sharon, sand cherries, variegated Weigelia. We normally do that as a softwood cutting, but that last year, actually year before, we stuck these. Java red Weigelia. So these things have grown so much that they are actually small plants. Well, that's a bunch of cuttings, really. So these things are begging to be potted up. Here's a nice one. So when I pot them, these are dormant, so I won't even hesitate to cut the roots. I might even cut them. Well, that's good right there. That'll go in the pot nicely. I might even do that just to get them a head start so that they fill out nicely once they're potted. We got to come back and stick them back in the ground. Red Princess Weigelia. This is just some ornamental grass that we deal in. We talked about this in a previous video. This is Snow Angel coral bells, and I planted these here during the summer. We dig them up, tear them apart, and then we put them under mist and root them. So we got a bunch over there that probably will be perfect for potting up. There's more purple sand cherry up here. There's burning bush. I don't do those as hardwood cuttings because they root so easily as softwood cuttings. So we got 3 burning bush. So all the plants here that we use as stock plants. This Rose of Sharon, right up in the middle of the mound here. Come over here. You can see that we've cut that thing back so many times that it's nice and full at the bottom. And that's because we collect so many hardwood cuttings from it. Let's stay over this way, okay? Give us a second, all right? We'll shoot the video. We'll be done in just a minute here. So with our hardwood cuttings, these are the flats that I'm going to stick them in. We'll probably put a piece of cardboard or even a piece of packing paper in the bottom. Then we just use the regular potting soil mix that we normally use. We dip them in a rooting solution, stick them in this flat. I'm going to put some links right below this video, more about hardwood cuttings. I got a page about these flats. Anything that I can think of that's going to correspond with what we're talking about here. There will be some links in the description on this video. We'll stick them in here, and then with the slats on the bottom, there's a little bit of an airspace, but what I'll do is I'll set these on like 1x2s so that they set up off the ground a little bit. That way when the cuttings root, and the roots start to come out the bottom and they hit that airspace, that's going to kill those roots, and it actually is called air pruning. It'll keep them from rooting into the ground, and it'll help them develop a stronger root system. So once this flat is ready to go, we'll set it on that 1x2 just like that to keep it up off the ground a little bit. So basically, that's a crash course in the simplicity of hardwood cuttings. If you have questions, follow the links below and post them on one of the pages on mikesbackyardnursery.com. I don't have time to go to YouTube and answer questions. I spend a ton of time in our members area, and I answer questions every day on Mike's Backyard Nursery and Japanese Maple Lovers, but I just don't have the time to go to YouTube and answer questions. I hate to admit that, but it's the truth. So anyway, Mike McGroarty, Mike's Backyard Nursery. Thanks for following along.